Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're looking at, well, a massive collision, really, between the utopian ideals of deep work and time boxing and the harsh everyday reality of surviving as a junior corporate employee.
Right. It is definitely a harsh reality.
Yeah. We're pulling from a structured debate script today on the pros and cons of these methods. And our mission is to figure out, what happens when the ultimate productivity hack actually makes you look like a terrible employee.
It's a trap so many people fall into, especially early in their careers, because, the promised ideal of time boxing is beautiful in theory.
For sure. On paper, it sounds great.
You allocate fixed time blocks to a single task, and boom, you reduce cognitive fatigue. You aren't wasting mental energy deciding what to do next.
Which stops all that overanalyzing and procrastination in its tracks.
Exactly. But then you hit the brick wall of workplace reality because deep work requires, well, eliminating distractions entirely. Shutting down your email, ignoring messages, just going completely offline.
Right. And if you're a junior employee, setting a strict 90-minute focus timer feels less like a helpful tool and more like a straitjacket.
Yeah, it does.
Because you can't just set your status to away and vanish. Disappearing for 3 hours causes severe friction. What if your team needs a quick approval?
Or a client has a total emergency. A delayed response doesn't make you look like a genius deep in thought. It makes your boss think you're slacking off.
Yeah, they just think you're watching videos or taking a nap or something.
Right. When you're at the bottom of the corporate ladder, you just lack leverage. Your responsiveness is basically the primary metric of your reliability. You are still building trust.
So trying to fight this systemic culture of, hyper-availability individually just by using a personal calendar tool, that usually backfires.
It completely backfires. You end up looking isolated and uncooperative rather than highly productive.
You buy this app to get more done, but you just look like you aren't a team player.
Yeah.
So then what is the actual cost of staying online and being perpetually available for you?
Well, you completely sacrifice quality and flow. Every single time you pivot to answer a quick message, you suffer from context switching penalties.
Because the brain takes time to refocus, right?
Yeah, exactly. Deep work prevents that fracturing of attention, which is what unlocks actual critical thinking for complex problems.
But wait, doesn't mapping out every single minute of your calendar turn it into a prison for, happy accident?
A prison for happy accidents? I like that.
What happens to creative spontaneity? If everything is rigidly boxed into a schedule, it seems like you destroy those spontaneous water cooler eureka moments.
You would think so, right? But the reality of creativity is much less romantic. The sources actually quote the author Peter DeVries on this.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
He famously said he only writes when inspiration strikes, but fortunately it strikes every morning at exactly 9 o'clock.
Huh. A very convenient time for inspiration to show up.
Precisely. Time boxing doesn't kill creativity. It structures your day so inspiration actually has a clean place to land.
Rather than being drowned out by chaos.
Exactly. By removing the low-level, constant anxiety of, what should I be doing right now, time boxing frees up your brain's background processing power.
You aren't drowning in a busy inbox, so your mind has the actual bandwidth to connect abstract ideas.
Right.
That makes perfect sense, giving the brain space by removing decision fatigue. But how does a junior worker balance this need for structure without completely crashing?
That is the million-dollar question.
Because treating every single hour of your life as a scarce resource to optimize inevitably leads to chronic burnout.
It really does, because a human brain actively demands unstructured, aimless recovery. You can't just output constantly.
Yeah, we aren't machines.
Right. So mature time boxers actively schedule blocks for guilt-free relaxation. They deliberately build a wall to prevent work from bleeding into their personal lives.
Okay, but wait, if I am scheduling aimless downtime on my calendar from, say, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., doesn't that ironically turn rest into just another stressful corporate chore I have to check off?
It absolutely can. That is the huge danger of over-engineering your life. You cannot just color code your way to peace of mind.
Yeah, true flexibility isn't about engineering total security through a software calendar.
Not at all. It's about using time boxing for the 60% of your day you can control and leaving the other 40% open as a buffer for all that inevitable corporate chaos.
The fires you just have to put out.
Right. True flexibility means being perfectly okay when that rigid structure completely falls apart.
So for you listening, you might not be able to control your company's hyper-available culture right now. But understanding these concepts helps you navigate the friction between protecting your focus and being a reliable team player.
It really comes down to recognizing that productivity tools are meant to serve you. You are not meant to serve the tool.
Which brings us right back to where we started. If a calendar app cannot engineer true peace of mind, is the ultimate productivity hack simply accepting that sometimes the best way to work is to let the structure break?